one of my favorite drums is called this electronic drum. It's a wave drum. I'll send you a video of me playing it. And it's brilliantly designed. It wasn't designed to perform the way I use it, but I love it because you can completely manipulate sound by how you grab it and touch it, and whether you use a stick or a mallet or your thumb or your finger or your fingertips. It's the gentleman who designed it is a genius, and you can rub a feather across it, it makes a sound. You could pour water on it, it makes a sound. It's electronic, so it really reacts differently. So the fact that the drum can do that makes me want to put the drum into another concept of a tonal bass where I can now do delays and do other kinds of sounds. So now you're in another universe with the instrument. It's very sensual, it's very open, it's very unusual, it's not common. Some people really like it and some people really hate it. And that's, to me, that's fantastic. And that's the idea of, in thinking about what you're doing, that I'm thinking about this particular drum that I have, and we'll talk more about it. But when it comes to this kind of free thought, intimacy, and new environments, or unfamiliar, and really the term is unfamiliar environment. So you're telling a story also with the sound, but you're not necessarily making music like a song yet. Because when you first walk into a room, if you think about a dark room, you walk in, it's not like, oh, I walk in and everything is 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, that's all of this kind of your mind, something you're seeing, something you're hearing, something you're smelling. You know, how long are you going to be in there? Are you going to go back into the club or not? Maybe, you know, and then also with the person you're going to the room with, that there's a dialogue there, whether you're speaking or you're just feeling each other out. There's a new dialogue happening there that probably wasn't happening before that. So all of these kinds of things of brilliant topics for me to put sound to, because I look at music in that same way. It's unexpected, it's romantic. It could be cold, it could be hot, it could be open, you know, but when I approach my own things, certainly the dark room concept is kind of where I begin. So I'm in the next few days, totally in. Like I don't have anywhere to go, anything to do starting since yesterday, so I can get a good gander at it. And I'll send you a message.
Yeah.
And we can talk more a little bit about it. And I'm going to start putting together some ideas. But just in the beginning of our conversation, maybe this kind of ideas of movement and thought and sound.
I really like what you said about the touch, you know?
Yeah. It's I'm going to send you some, I'm going to send you some footage of me playing the drum. I mean, you don't have to watch the whole thing. You can just check out the sounds and kind of what's happening. Some of the videos, they'll zoom in and you can see what's happening with it.
Yeah.
And just have a look at it. It's, it goes off into another world, and I do all kinds of things. And I love playing that instrument and playing with flutes and adding things onto it. But it's a really, really, the first time I got the instrument, I fell in love with it because it's not like anything else that I have. There's another one I'll send you to that's wireless, that I made wireless, that you can wear like a piece of clothing. It's a square frame drum, but if you rub your finger across it, if you rub your nail on it, if you press it. See, for drums, if you're not playing a traditional drum, a lot of the sounds are kind of already designed to reproduce in a certain way, because it's a stick, it's hitting plastic, it's rock and roll stuff. It's just kind of, I like to take the concept of that and go the other direction, in a more indigenous direction. These electronic pieces, some of them I designed with engineers. Now I want to start to be able to do what a guitar player can do, where they bend the string and then the sound changes and the intensity changes and it can feed back. Like that's one of the things I've been fighting for my whole career. I'm just getting my way in the last 10 years, but I want instruments designed so they can be percussive in theory, but they got to cry, they have to scream, they have to be romantic. It's true. They can't just be, it can't be a hamburger every time out. It's just like, hamburger. It's like after cheese and some tomato and lettuce, it's still a hamburger. Nothing's changing there, right? So you want to have it so the emotion of it can come out, because drummers, we feel that, and our industry has kind of put us in a certain kind of a box where we're able to be creative one way, but I want to be creative in all the ways. So that's why these instruments. So I'll send you that as well. Because in thinking about what you're talking about with the dark room and the puzzles and those kind of things, these sounds and these instruments, to me, are sonic versions of what you're talking about visually. Like, that's interesting to me already, because those spaces and those places. So that could be something already that is of interest to me, to be able to go into the unfamiliar, free thinking side of sound and vision.
Yeah.
And I'm a nerd, so I have some toys laying around here. I have gear that I love to spend hours totally destroying and not using it the way it's programmed to, and plugging things in that shouldn't go in, and getting all kinds of new ways of expressing myself. So I think that's how you push the envelope. That's how you have to find new frontiers, just like new environments and new spaces. Those are the kind of things that I'm gonna just put down as points.
And then I have one question, Will. I don't know if it's really related, but because for me, when I work, I usually, as I said, start from activities that provide me pleasure. Beside your work, what are the things that you really like doing?
Wow, there's so many things. I mean,
yes,
there's a lot of things. You know, I love to cook. I love to eat and go out, try restaurants. Food is a big thing for me. I love the savory vibe of food.
Okay, good.
Tea, I'm a tea connoisseur. You know, there's something about tea is like a worshiping ceremony. I'm kind of into the old-fashioned way of having the water a certain temperature. I'm a bit of a nerd with that as well. You know, special leaves, special temperature. You got to put the right tea in the right cup. Green, you use for greens, for the best thing for greens, use porcelain. For blacks and grays, you use clay. You know, there's all these kind of things because of how the leaves open up and all. You know, there's all of that, the timing of it, and that all has an effect on the flavor. Love books.
Yeah, I wanted, because you said food and tea. Yes, I think my question was in this direction. I would say like things that you would do which are directly related to your senses.
Yes, yeah. So those are, well, it would be definitely, senses would be food, and it would be I don't know. I mean, it senses is kind of funny, because I read books and I can get turned on by the words. I can get hungry. I can get pissed off. I can feel romantic. So the words are also good too, and sound. Nature, like being out in nature, is really important too. To hear more organic sounds. You grow up in a city like New York, you're always hearing pigeons and taxis and airplanes and this kind of thing. So once in a while, you want to get out and hear the wind blowing and the sounds of certain things in the wild. Like listening to water is interesting for me. It's a very interesting pastime. Sometimes I live near the shore, so I can go to the beach over here, but I also like to go listen to brooks. Just like patterns when the waters hit the rocks. It's all of these kind of cool. So listening to water is it's a very important part to me of sensual things, of the sound of the water, because it has memories and it tells stories and opens up your mind.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Will. Super.